Okay folks, so in this video I'm going to show you how to fit an aftermarket fascia to accommodate a double-din sat-nav unit from China in my Ford Transit Custom, which is a 2013. Now as you can see, the sat-nav unit itself has been rather crudely butchered, shall we say, into the existing fascia. That means that the original radio player head unit has been ripped out. So what we have to do here is that we have to, I mean, normally you would use like proper tools, but because this is an old van, I'm just going to use a screwdriver. Now we have to prise out the various bits and pieces of dashboard. So we'll take this top bit off here, which just kind of like prizes up. There's no screws holding it on actually. Now I've got a Parrot Bluetooth unit fitted as well, so just need to be careful because it's still wired in. But as you can see that the sat-nav unit just gets lifted straight out, and that's part of the problem, is that it was sitting at an angle, but you couldn't see it if it was like heavy sunlight. I'll just put that down there. Now the fascia itself is only really held on by two screws just at the top there, so you'll need a Torx driver set to take them out. Now if you're taking your sat-nav out, obviously just make a note of the cables that you've got to take out, because it makes the job an awful lot easier if you've made a note and then you can put the cables back in. So we've got them out just now. The only thing that's left here is the GPS, and that connector block there is actually the coaxial cable for the radio, believe it or not. Somebody's just made a bit of a bodge putting that back in. In fact, the whole installation actually has been a bit of a bodge, but that's for another time. So I'll take those two screws out. So you'll need one of these. So if you haven't got one of these and you're intending on working in vehicles, I would definitely get it, because nearly all your fascia and your dashboards, basically anything in the car, in the interior, even back lights as well, use a Torx driver. So I would definitely get yourself one of these if you haven't already. So we'll take these two screws out. As I say, this is actually quite a shambolic video, because I am doing this one-handedly and I'm filming with my other hand, so it just makes it a little bit difficult. So if I chop and change the camera angle, it's just because I'm filming on my phone here doing this. So we'll just use the screwdriver. Once you've got those screws out, you just get the screwdriver. Again, if you probably use proper tools to save marking the actual dashboard, but I'm not really too bothered. So once you've got the screws out, just put your hand in and just give it a good hard pull, and that brings it out. Now it also brings the vents out, and I'll show you that in a minute, because you're going to have to disconnect them from the original fascia. And also you'll have to disconnect the hazard switch as well, hazard light switch, which is just two clips, and it releases the switch, and just a clip in the back, and that releases the, yeah, there you go, easy as that. That just releases the cable. It's on the floor now, we'll find that in a minute. So as I say, you'll need to take out these vents. So it's only 4 screws that hold them on. So one there, again, this is where your Torx driver comes in handy. It's just a little bit difficult filming this and doing it at the same time. So it's one there, so it's 2 aside. I'll take those out. So once you've got them out, you will notice that these Chinese units don't fit in to this aftermarket fascia. Now, if you're buying these off of eBay, it does tell you that. Some of them actually don't, but the one that I've actually bought this knowing that I would have to adapt it to fit, and it's just slightly oversized and doubled in. So what I've done is that I've had to use a multi-tool cutter just to cut one side. You can actually see it there, it's just a bit raggedy. I've just used a multi-tool, and I'll just use a sharp Stanley just to take out all the burrs. And all I've done is just force the unit in so it holds in tightly. There's not actually any screws holding the unit in. I mean, if you are going to get a proper doubled in unit, then there's no need. The actual fascia comes with brackets to hold it in, like if you're buying like a brand name. But because these are just kind of like, I mean, they're only like £30, these sat-navs, I think. So I've multi-tooled the fascia, and I've just jammed it right in. Now, once you've fitted your air vents, just make sure that they work okay. Make sure nothing's jammed. And the hazard switch just clips in. Now this one here doesn't actually clip in, it kind of just sits in, as I discovered, because when you turn it round, and I went to plug the connector back in, the switch just kind of like fell out. So just, you know, these fascias, I mean, as much as they do their job, they're just remember they are aftermarket, so they don't actually have that degree of quality in them that they'll hold the switch in firmly. But nevertheless, it does the job. Right, so once you've done that, then we just have to remember what cables went where. So these two plugs go in the back of the sat-nav, just like so. I'll fit them in there just while I'm filming this as well. I'll tell you what though, whoever ripped this original radio out and fitted this, good luck to them, because there's some amount of cables going on. So there we go, it's actually not looking too bad. So once you fitted it in place, it's just going to get forced in to the dash like so. Again, just a bit of brute force. Now it's two screws at the top that we took out earlier, that's what's going to hold it back in. Now, because I've had that parrot screen on, I'm just going to have to try and make sure that cable gets caught in like a corner so that it can come out quite freely. So yeah, I think I'll just put that right over in the corner there. Two screws are on, just give them a quick tighten. Yeah, it's all looking pretty flush. There we go. So I'll just put the slack of the parrot unit just underneath that top bit there, and then that just fits in, and just give it a good smack down, and that's it. And that really is it fitted. Looks a lot better already. Because it's sitting at an angle now, you can actually see the screen when you're driving along. Now it's quite a sunny day today, and there was no way you'd be able to see it, so we'll just give it a switch on and just make sure it works okay. Now the hole at the bottom, that is actually, you can get an optional credit card holder which you need to pay an extra £8 for. I didn't know that at the time, but that can just be plugged in. I imagine that just snaps in. Now these units, I mean, you know, I've used them off and on. They seem quite good. I suppose they're quite good for £30. It all seems to work okay. I'm just going to do a wee test just to make sure that the radio works. Till forever falls apart. And yeah, that seems to work okay. So there you have it. Of course, with these units you can plug in all sorts. You can plug in your MP3 player, but that folks is really it. So I hope that's been of help.